Hi again. My name is Rebel and I'm the Rebel Reseller. And today I'm going to be doing another one of my brand videos. I had a comment in one of my recent videos on doing a video on Eden. And I kept thinking to myself, I've done one on Eden. But what it was when I first thought about doing this series, I did two videos on like the top 12 brands that I personally love to pick up. And Eden was one of them. So I hadn't really done just Eden by itself. So I thought I'm going to go ahead and do that for this video. Just if you've not watched these type videos that I put together before, what I do is all of these are from eBay. They're all in the last 90 days. So they're the most recent solds. They are the solds. I go into eBay and I filter by used because those are the things that we're going to find at yard sales, estate sales, and thrift stores. Used items, the solds, and then I sort by the highest price. And this time I picked $50 and higher for the Eden Plush that I'm going to share with you. I try to take it one step more. I go into Terapeak to get the actual price that it sold for because it's not always correct on the eBay solds. And then I go into that seller's store, see if feedback was left for them, which I'm going to tell you right now, very few buyers left these sellers feedback because that's the most easiest way for me to say, yes, this was a legit sell. You get into that kind of wanky stuff when you're dealing with, the $10,000 beanies. You go into their store and there is no feedback. There is no, just anything. So I do that. If there is no feedback while I'm in their store, I check to see if it's been relisted. And Terapeak would also show me if this same item has sold several times. I don't see that very often, but it's just another step for me to check. But like I said, most of these, there was no feedback. So are they legitimate sales? I'm pretty confident they are. It's when you get into those higher dollar ones that, don't trust the higher dollar ones. But all right, let's get into some of the things I wanted to share with you. And I like Eden this time too because I have one in here that I sold. $50. This is a teddy bear dressed in blue, has stripes on the outfit. There's going to be a lot of bears and like My First Dolls in this. There's going to be a lot of common themes to these listings. But this particular one sold for $50. All right, this is an Eden terry cloth waffle weave doll. It did have its original tag, which is a bonus, but it isn't always necessary with some of these. This one sold for $50. Right, this was an auction. It had 23 bids. Positive feedback was left for this seller. It is a velour squishy soft lion. I have never seen this. It is very interesting. Definitely would be something I would pick up. It sold for $51. I thought this is adorable. A lot of these toys are musical also. I'm just, you'll see that in the titles. This is a snowman 14-inch sold for $55. This is one of those smaller rattle plush. Again, it had its paper tag and it sold for $57.95. This is a cute little dog plush. One of the wind-ups. Pretty sure it's got the one that the head moves as the music plays. A lot of the vintage Eden musicals did that. This one sold for $59.87. I loved this book series. This is by Arnold Lobel. It is Frog and Toad. This set of two sold for $59.95, and you'll see that positive feedback was left. This is adorable. I think I've had something very similar. This is a duck chick plush in pastel pajamas. It sold for $59.99. Here's another duck, but this one is terry cloth. It sold for $60. This is a musical koala, sold for $60. This is a giraffe, 15-inch, so it is kind of tall, sold for $60. Now there's a couple of Arthur plush that I'll be sharing with you. These two were like jumbo sizes from 1996. Arthur's missing his glasses. I'm sure he would have had them. These two sold for $60 with positive feedback. Curious George, there's quite a... I have found Curious George quite often. I have not found this musical wind-up one, and I think that is the thing that brought this up. A lot of Curious George are also Knickerbocker. This one with the blue shirt musical sold for $62.99. Dr. Seuss, The Lorax. This is from 1979. I've had this one before a long time ago. I bought several vintage plush at a yard sale. He was one in that, and several Miss Noah plush were in it. It was an amazing find, and it was like $3 and $4 each. This was a long time ago. Love when I find these yard sales that just have all of this vintage stuff that I love. The Lorax sold for $64.35. Now, I didn't know that Eden had a little bear, and there were actually a couple of them I've seen. I tend to find the one that's by Kid Power, that, you know, you squeeze him and he like giggles. This one is a music box. Also, it sold for $65. Here's another one of the Arthur ones. This is Binky Barnes, sold for $65. Raymond Briggs, The Snowman. There's going to be another example of more Eden plush by this author. I have not seen this one before, but it definitely would be something that I would pick up, even not even knowing that it was Eden. This sold for $65. Eden Boy terry cloth plush. Now, I did sell one of these, but mine was very, very stained. I washed it several times. I still could not get all of the stains out. I want to say I sold it for in the 20s to 30s. But this one sold for $65.96. This is the ABC Pajama Bear. There is a pink one, or this peachy, I think he's actually usually pink, but I'm thinking this one might be a little faded or something. So they said peach, I think. I may be wrong. And then there's a blue one. This one sold for $66. I'm glad to see these type bears also in this. Now, it is one of the larger ones. It's the musical. I have found some of the smaller ones. I still will always grab them. This one sold for $69.99. Now, a lot of times, this is on the older ones, you'll see this tag, and all it says is Eden Toys. This is one of the thermal waffle weaves. You know, I talk about the terry cloth and the waffle weave plush quite often. Eden is an example of that does both of those types of plush, and they sell for a whole lot of money. This little bear 9-inch size sold for $70. All right, another one of the My First type dolls from Eden. This one sold for $71.10. This is, I've not seen this one before. This is one of the waffle weaves, but he is a penguin. It says he's also terry cloth. I bet his face and stuff is terry cloth. He sold for $75. Another one of the dolls. This one has its eyes opened and the little sleeper on. I did sell one that was like the eyes are closed. That one does like 20, 30 some dollars, especially if it's in really good condition. A lot of times for some reason they seem to be discolored. This one though sold for $79.95. Zaboomafoo. Anytime you can find Zaboomafoo or the Craft Brothers, I do really, really well with them. Don't find them very often at all. This 16-inch plush sold for $79.99. Here's another one of the Waffle Weave dolls. She sold for $80.10. This is a bear, but he's kind of got the whole clown vibe going on with the little neck thing. It says he's musical, plays You Are My Sunshine. There were several plush that had that musical box in it. This one sold for $80. Eden Moo Cow says he makes sounds. Battery is not replaceable. Yeah, those are tough. Those are tough because once they're done, unless you have sewing skills, it's hard to get them replaced. And you know, I always fear I'm going to test that plush, it's going to work, and unknown to me, that will be the last time it works. You know, I've had it happen one time where I listed something, it was working, it was in storage for a while, and when I went to ship it, it didn't work. So I always let the buyer know that has happened. I think almost every single time they still want it. It's more about the plush than the actual music box. But yeah, and it's one of the things you have to deal with, especially dealing with the non-replaceable batteries. Well, this cow sold for $85. I have found some of the Blue's Clues that are eaten. Usually it's been the mailbox and the clock. I don't know if I've ever found Mr. Salt, or yeah, Mr. and Mrs. Salt and Pepper. Maybe the soap I did. Somebody listed these 4 together and they sold for $85. I know the Blue's Clues by Eden doesn't sell for a whole lot. The puppy. All right, there were several examples of these elephants. They're musical. I think the one I had, I don't remember the color, but the head moved. But I think there's pink ones, there's yellow ones. There may even be like a cream colored one. This blue one must be one of the harder ones to find. It sold for $89.99, and it looks to be in really, really nice condition. Normally, the corduroy bears that I see are when he's in the green, coveralls. But this one, he's in this blue Christmassy outfit. It says he's missing one button on overalls. But isn't it usually loose? Isn't that one strap that's all about the story? I'm not quite sure. Maybe. I thought that's how it was. Somebody remind me. Isn't it all about the fact that the button is loose on his coveralls or overalls? Anyway, this thing sold for $89.99. All right, now we're getting into some more of the waffle weaves. We're getting into the higher dollars. This one, when you have these multiple colors in blocks, a good keyword to put is color block also in your listing. This one sold for $99.60. Y'all, I've told this story before. I think it was last year. We went to a churchyard sale, and as soon as I walked in, it was being held in a tent area. I walked in, I saw a lady walking around with this plush tucked under her arm, and my eyes kept watching her the entire time to see if she was going to lay it down. Of course she didn't lay it down, but I'll never forget that. I've got a couple of examples of these type plush where they're laying flat like this. This blue lamb sold for $99.98. All right, this is a Gonzo doll from Jim Henson, 1995. He sold for $99.99. All right, this is a white teddy bear. I think there's a pink one also with the body is pink. Maybe. I can't quite remember. But it's more of like the soft velour. There's quite a few examples of this in some of the Eden Plush. This one sold for $99.99 with positive feedback. All right, the clowns. There's quite a few different clowns. Some of them are these bold primary colors. Some of them are like the pastel colors. Definitely check comps, but almost always they are going to be a pickup, especially if they're in good condition. This one is kind of larger. It's 20 inches. It sold for $100. All right, this person has put several of the Beatrix Potter Eden Plush together in a lot, and all 9 of them sold for $100. All right, this is a cute little plush lamb, has a baby in its pocket. I have not seen this one before. It also sold for $100. All right, Eden puts out a lot of Paddingtons, but this one must be unique because I've never found one that's worth, more than 20 bucks, I would say. But it is larger. It's 18 inch. It has its cute little red boots, $19.75, and it sold for $100. All right, here's another one of the bears that has the color block. It sold for $100. Here's one of the clowns that's more pastel color, still the color block stripes I would have put in there. It sold for $109.87. Here's another Eden, kind of my first doll series. This one is terry cloth and it sold for $112.49. I just got reminded January of last year, I sold the ABC bear that I showed you guys earlier on Etsy for $139.95. I just wanted to share with you guys, even though this was September, right before the 90 days, this was my little Eden girl doll that sold for $119.95. So, definitely keep your eyes out for Eden. This is the white lamb that's very similar to the other one that I showed you a minute ago. This one sold for $114.99. This is the other type of tag sometimes you will see on some of the vintage Eden. All right, this is an Eden Kermit the Frog, but he's musical. I've not seen him before. There were several examples of recent solds for him. This particular one sold for $141.79. Here's another of the terry cloth waffle weave bears. Again, pastel color block, sold for $145.99. More Beatrix Potter plush. This says he is Pigwig, 16 inch. I have found a couple of the Beatrix Potter plush in these type of dresses. This one sold for $149.99. This is one of the bears with the clown theme, sold for $150. The Snowman by Raymond Briggs. Anytime you see these, as long as they're in condition that you can get them cleaned up, they are going to sell well for you. This one is oversized, like pillow size, 28 inches. He sold for $150. And then this is another one of the waffle weave plush. It is a lamb. He sold for $160.81. Look at this one. This is a little sun plush that plays You Are My Sunshine, and it sold for $164.75. And I'm sure he's going to, this itty bitty tag. Eden Toys Inc. All right, this is another one of the Waffle Weave Thermal Plush. It's a duck, sold for $165. Oh, this one was mine. This is the Waffle Weave Peter Rabbit, Beatrix Potter, sold for $165. And then right after this, my friend Shannon found this when I was talking about it in my haul video. She found it, and right after I sold this one, she sold hers also for about the same price. Funny how that happens sometimes, right? It almost always, when I put one of these videos out or I share a high dollar plush in one of my hauls, I get a message or a comment that says, look what I just found. These are the Raymond Briggs plush that I normally find. I'm not even quite sure what the size is on these, but this is the small, medium, and large. Yeah, 15-inch, 9-inch, 7-inch. I just sold the 7-inch. But the 3 of these together sold for $170. Oh, $200, and we're not at the end yet. This is a rabbit thermal weave plush, sold, like I said, $200. And it looks like it had some condition issues. All right, and these aren't even waffle weave, terry cloth, nothing. This is a floppy rabbit plush with kind of like the overstuffed cloth body, sold for $259.99. And then similarly, this is a little lamb with the same type body, sold for $275. All right, I hope you guys enjoyed this. Fingers crossed I get some comments of people who go out to a thrift store and they find one of these. It's always fun to hear from people like that. Make a comment or post it in my Facebook group. Share, 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 because I love when somebody, you know, learns about something that I've talked about and then actually goes out and finds it. So, all right, y'all. If you've made it this long, let me just tell you what we're facing right now. It's just kind of funny. For some reason, I decided it's time to redo our master bathroom. So we gutted it Monday. We went to Lowe's. Take that out if you need to. We went to a large home improvement place in our town, ordered a new shower, new vanity, everything on Friday. They said, you know, they had to order the vanity so it would be available Wednesday, which we were fine with that, but we could come and pick up the rest of it as soon as we were ready. So we went in yesterday to pick it up. They sold it again. They sold my shower. They sold my shower stall. They had the doors, like that was going to do me any good. So supposedly it's going to be available again for us to pick up Wednesday. But, you know, life's not fun when, at least we have multiple bathrooms, but it's still not fun when your bathroom is the one that you don't have access to. Oh, yeah, that's our life right now. You gotta laugh, but then you kind of irritated too. All right, y'all, get to work. Bye.